One of the requests I get most often is for the intro lick to Pink Floyd's Wish You Were Here. It sounds like it should be pretty simple, but when you actually break it down and look at it, there's a lot going on. So we've asked our friend and guitar teacher Frank Barrese to show us exactly how David Gilmour plays that lick. What do you think, Frank?
I think we can do that. It is fairly simple in terms of there aren't any really complex or tricky licks in there. It's all basic pentatonic blues-based licks. But what's key is the timing of when everything comes in and slight differences in phrasing that he uses. The most important key to remember is everything happens after the 1 on the beat. So it's always going to be 3, 4, 1. And that first lick is a basic blues lick. You're sliding from the 2nd fret G string up to the 4th with your middle finger. And you land on 3rd fret B string, which is a D. And then your next note is going to be 5th fret B string, and then an open B, and then land back on the 3rd fret. So you got 3, 4, 1. The next thing he does is what we call a pull off. You're going to start on the 4th fret of the G string, pull off to the 2nd, and then pull that off to the open G. And then hit an open D string. And then he just does a little slide into a B, which is the 2nd fret A string, then 2 open D strings. Put together, it's like this: 3, 4, 1. Now the next lick he does are what we call double fourths, and it's just going to be 3rd fret of the B and the G string. And B and the E string, sorry. Right. And you're just going to slide up from the 3rd fret to the 5th fret and back. And then you're going to do a similar one on the G and the B strings, which would be 2nd fret G string, 3rd fret B string. Same thing, slide up 2, come back. Then open up to an open G and open B. And then you're going to start again on the 2nd fret of the G string, 3rd fret B string, and then slide again, come down and pull off, and you land here, the G and the B string. You could have easily have played those same 2 notes as open strings, but if you listen to the recording, after he plays this, you hear his hand sliding down, and that's the tip off that he didn't end like that. So put together, it's like this. So that last little pull off with 2 strings at once is a little tricky. So what you can do is you can sort of give up on the B string as you're coming down and just work off the G string if you find that difficult. Okay. 3rd lick starts like the first one, but instead of sitting on that note for a beat, he goes right back to the first note. So it's slide from 2 to 4 on the G string, 3rd fret the B string, back to the 4th fret G string, 5th fret B string, which is an E, and put together it sounds like this. Now what comes next is a stock little blues lick. So you're bending from the 5th fret B string, bringing it back, pulling it off to the 3rd fret, 4th fret G string, back to the 3rd fret B string, and then you land on the 2nd fret of the G string. That's an A because that's the chord that's being played at that point. So put together that lick sounds like this: 3, 4, 1. And then he finishes off with a little B.B. King style lick. Normally you could bend that from the 4th fret, but with a wound G it's a little bit of a push, so you can cheat and get up to the 5th fret. And it's just like a half bend, because you only want to get up to that C sharp note. 3rd fret B string, 5th fret B string, and then you're going to sort of reverse that bend. So you're starting with it bent and coming down. So that whole lick together is 3, 4, 1. And then the 4th lick starts exactly like the 3rd. And all he does is a slightly different phrase here. He does a bend off of the 5th fret B string and does it again. Brings down the bend, pulls off to the 3rd fret, lands back on the 5th fret, and then back to your A again, which is 2nd fret G string. So it'll sound like this. And the finish of it is just a little half bend on the 4th fret, releasing to the 2nd fret G string.
Yeah.
Whole thing put together would be like this: 3, 4, 1. 4, 1. 2, 3, 4, 1. 4, 1.
Wow.
That's it.
Wow, that was awesome. And you know, I really could see how the beat, keeping track of time, where the notes are happening, and that how important it is to know where you are in time.
Absolutely. You keep that foot tapping and feel that 4, and then that's how, when I first started to learn it, I said, you know, how am I going to remember where the phrases all start? And I just got it, okay, wait for the 1, play the phrase. And that pretty much is all you need.
That's awesome. Thanks, Frank.
My pleasure.